I have to admit, man, Diana Rigg as the Queen of Thorns. I've flashed back to my youth and all those days I spent watching Adventures, man. And Emma Peel, wow. That's pretty amazing. And of course, besides those actors, we have a lot of others who we didn't get to include in the little preview reel for you. But we're going to have an incredible cast this year, and I think we were already the biggest cast in television, and we've just grown bigger. So clearly, I have to start killing some of these characters quickly to make room for the new ones. But, so let me bring out some of our panelists and introduce you today here. There are many people who produce the show that you see every week on HBO. Not all of them are on camera. Some of them do their work behind the camera, but their contributions are, you know, immense, and without them the show would not exist. One of them is our executive producer, Carolyn Strauss. Next, of course, we have the heir to Winterfell, Robb Stark, the Lady of Winterfell, his mother, who keeps him in line and tells him who he should and should not kill and or marry. Michelle Fairley. And yet, those of you who have watched the show know that the Starks have actually lost Winterfell, so the current Prince of Winterfell, proper heir to the Iron Islands, former ward of Eddard Stark, and currently not in good graces with the House of the Direwolf, the heir to Pike, Theon Greyjoy, Alfie Allen. Then, north of the wall, the fair lady who has bringing our Jon Snow over to the wild side of the universe here, our Ygritte, the lovely Rose Leslie. And last but certainly not least, the only member of last year's Game of Thrones panel courageous enough to return once again to face you in San Diego, the Khaleesi of the Dothraki, the right-born heir of House Targaryen, So, I'd like to start at the beginning with Carolyn.
Thank you, George.
Carolyn was part of HBO before there even was a Game of Thrones. And in fact was there when David and Dan first came in to pitch this crazy idea of doing an epic fantasy series on a network better known for the Sopranos, and more realistic dramas. Can you tell us a little of the background about what it was like and how this show ever got on the air to begin with?
You mean when two scraggly youngsters came in?
That's right.
Well, apparently you trusted them with your material.
I did. I can't think why, but...
And they came in and they plunked a couple of really heavy books down on the conference room table. And David was a pretty well-known screenwriter. And so he brought some weight in with him and he said, this is a really fascinating story. And he began to tell me the story. And I, who am not, I would say, ardent fantasy reader, was kind of intrigued by it. And I said, well, it's not our usual fare, but what it did sound like to me was a genre buster. And by that I mean it's something that has the kind of pillars and posts of a genre, but takes it in an entirely different kind of direction, like The Wire would do with a cop drama. And that is an HBO show. And so I said, go write a script, and they wrote a script, and it came back exactly that. And HBO went through some changes, but the script stayed great. And after a long decision-making process, everybody decided, yeah, let's make this script. This is great. And they put a lot of money and a lot of support behind it, and so we've got Game of Thrones.
And the rest is history, and I look for many more years to come. One of the things that distinguishes Game of Thrones, I think, and of course the books that I've written, is gray characters. It's not a simple world of heroes and villains. Characters have flaws, and I don't think any character in the whole opus is as gray as Theon Greyjoy. Who became a very dark shade of gray this season. How do you like playing? Would you rather play a more heroic character? Do you like playing is Theon a villain in your mind? Is he a flawed human being? How do you see Theon?
No, I wouldn't say in my mind he's a villain. He's just kind of misguided, he's got issues, but you know, I can relate to that. So it's cool, man. I like you said, you know, everyone's sort of flawed in it, so it's cool. I think sort of, you know, darker, more complex characters are more interesting to play than sort of straightforward sort of heroes. But I don't think there is any sort of straightforward heroes even in Game of Thrones. So sorry, I'm talking to George. I should be talking to you, really, shouldn't I? But yeah, it's been great to play, and I'm just happy to be part of it. So it's good.
Now, I have noticed that Theon, as in the books, does have a healthy libido. You've had sex scenes with Ros, the red-headed boar.
I have.
The captain's daughter, Osha the wildling.
Yeah.
Almost with your sister.
Yeah.
All thanks to things I wrote. And have I gotten even a box of chocolates?
They're coming. They're in the post, George. They're in the post.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's it like doing all those sex scenes?
It was fine. It was good. You know, I enjoyed it. It was good. It was. I wanted to kind of, you know, get into shape for it anyway, because I wanted to feel like a warrior. So it was kind of cool doing that. But it was great. You know, they kind of. I think the sex scenes which you do see in it are kind of with prostitutes, so he's kind of paying for it. So it's not like he's a stud muffin in the Game of Thrones world. No, I enjoyed it, man. It was good. I just yeah, it was great. I just, like I said, just got into shape for it, and it was all good. I hope it came out well. I think it came out well.
Yeah.
They seem to have liked it. So.
Pardon?
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
So Richard, you've done a sex scene too this season. How was that, dude? Would you rather do the sex or the violence?
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know. I think I'd rather do the violence. I get more of a kick out of that than standing on a quite cold set in Ireland with all my clothes off. It's yeah, swinging a sword's a bit more fun. For
Now, you may not know that Richard, in addition to being Rob Stark, is also the best dressed man in Scotland. So I'm sure you can find many useful sartorial hints here at Comic-Con from some of the costumes that folks are wearing that the Scots probably don't even know about. Capes, you know, would go well with kilts and stuff like that.
Capes.
Yeah, capes, yeah. Michelle, your arc this season has gotten darker and darker. You're dealing with a lot of very serious stuff going on here. Murders taking place in front of you. The loss of your home and the estrangement from your children. Catelyn is doing some very radical things. I'd be interested in knowing, as an actress, how you approach difficult material like that, and the kind of toll that it affects. Does doing such dark stuff impact on you as an actress?
No, you get your script. The way I approach it, I don't actually know how I work, if you analyze it in that respect, but your script is your Bible. So you just work and work and work and read and read and read and read. And then you introduce other actors and directors and the set and costume. And for me personally, I love the big emotional stuff. So it's not a chore. I love to get myself really involved in it. And that makes it all the more enjoyable to play, so that you forget that you're actually on a set and that you're an actor. You just totally have to believe that you are that person and just get stuck into it.
Rose, you're the new kid on the block here.
I am. Joining
a set and a show already established, and the first thing they did was send you off to Iceland.
I know. It was amazing. It was the most beautiful, beautiful country. So, yeah.
Colder than Scotland, you were telling me before.
A lot colder than Scotland. And actually, I didn't think anything would be colder than Scotland, but no, Iceland takes a biscuit. Yeah.
Rose is actually the only member of our cast who actually been born and raised in a castle.
Yes. Yes.
So tell us about your castle.
It is definitely not Winterfell. Definitely not that. But no, that is home for me. Yes, up in Aberdeenshire, and yeah, that is where I was brought up. And it was cold, and it's kind of drafty and cranky, but no, it's home. So.
Is there a dungeon?
There is. We used to lock, like us, me and my siblings used to scare each other by locking ourselves in the dungeon. It's horrible. Hide and seek would last for days. Stuck in the dungeon. It's not great.
But as I understand it, you don't inherit the castle because you have an elder sibling.
Oh no, yeah, no, that goes to my big brother. Yeah, he gets that burden.
But if something should happen to those siblings.
Would you take care of that for me? That would be fantastic.
Maybe we should shoot some scenes at your castle, a big location. So, Amelia. You were here last year. You're the only one who was bold enough to come back. We scared off the rest of them.
I know.
And you said last year that your life had not changed because no one recognized you without your Dany tresses when you walked in the street. Is this still true a year later?
It's kind of moved on a little bit. Yes, a little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit. I still, yeah.
Occasional person recognizes you?
Yes, definitely. But when it happens, it really happens.
Like what? When you get stopped at airports or something?
No stopping at airports. But I was in a department store, and I was just in the lift, and the lift doors opened, and this woman kind of looked at me and did a double take and just said, "Khaleesi." So yeah, that's the kind of epicness, which is nice. I like it.
I don't suppose you've dared to walk the floor of Comic-Con yet.
Not yet.
See if they know you here.
Will you be nice?
Oh, you will? Okay. Well,
Now I'm a little scared.
that's right. I'm scared to walk the floor at Comic-Con these days. Carolyn, some of the production issues. I think, are we the only show in the history of television to be shooting simultaneously in 4 different countries?
I don't know for sure because my encyclopedic knowledge of TV is a little rusty these days, but I would probably put some money on it.
So what is that like for you and David and Dan trying to wrangle? I believe we have the Wolf unit shooting in Belfast primarily, and the Dragon unit shooting this season in Morocco and Croatia, and we have the Freeze Your Ass unit shooting in Iceland. How do you guys wrangle all of this going on at the same time?
You know, I think I'm a little lucky because I just kind of pop in and out. The person I feel really, really sorry for is the guy who has all the little colored rectangles who's trying to schedule the whole thing, which is really an incredible feat. Yeah, Chris Newman, who does an unbelievable job of kind of math and I don't know, geometry. I can't really figure it out. But it is a real Herculean task to get all these guys where they need to be, along with the grips and the, you know, electricians and everybody. I mean, it's a phenomenally difficult show to do, but everybody seems to pull it off. We have an amazing, amazing crew and these guys, and yeah, it's pretty hard.
Okay.
Really hard.
Well, it's an amazing job, I think.
Yeah.
So, Alfie,
Yes.
I understand you died this season.
What?
I understand you
Again?
died.
Here I'm dying. Oh, I don't know, George. I'm the last. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Last season, second season, you died.
I don't know, George. I just don't know. I'm kind of. It's all a mystery to me. So I'm just hoping.
Didn't they give you a script?
Well, no, not yet. So for all I know, I might not be in it.
Last season.
What, last season? They gave me scripts for last season, yeah, obviously. But
Where you died.
I died last season.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm dying. Yes, I'm dead last season. So it's all good. What is dead may never die, yes. I just say that, that'll cheer you guys up. Yeah, it's all good.
Goddamn Greyjoy is refusing to tell the story of how Bran killed you.
Oh yeah, David and Dan wrote a fake script for me, which is quite fun. They gave me a script and I got killed by Bran in it. And I thought it was amazing. Like, I thought, what a great way to go. And I didn't say anything to them. I think they were kind of expecting me to sort of like kick off about it. Yeah, I just cried. Yeah, exactly. Well, I kind of went on holiday, and then about 3 weeks later, I got a call. I was sitting on a beach, chilling out, and yeah, they called me up, and they were like, so, like, how do you like the new ending? And I was like, oh, it's cool, guys. It's like, it's your show. It's fine. They're like, okay, cool. Like, we got another thing for you. How do you feel being a zombie? Yeah, all right, that'll be fine. They're like, no, hold on. How do you feel being a naked zombie with absolutely no dialogue whatsoever? And I was like, okay, guys, I think you're having me on. But it was funny. It was cool. Like, they're just pranksters, David and Dan. They're my mates. You know what I mean?
All right. Speaking of Bran, before I forget here, I understand. I can't really see from here, but I hear that Hodor is somewhere in our audience. Christian, are you here? Can you stand up if you are here?
He's standing. Hodor? You know Hodor? Oh, there he is, yeah. He's like the big guy that
Christian
carries the
Nairn
kid, Bran.
plays Hodor.
You know, he doesn't have a lot of speaking.